So in this video we're going to see how we rebricked the Big Ben to make it something that's suitable for a modular city. So my first inclination when I looked at the Big Ben is the tower and some of the structure, and how could I make it into a suitable structure or building for our modular city, and this is what it has turned into. Basically a cathedral for the minifigs. So as you can see, there's a little bit of revamping in the entry towers for the cathedral, but basically most of the parts I've only had to use one set of the Big Ben, which is 10253. Now the biggest issue of trying to get some parts that are different, that run out when you use that set, is these parts here are the hardest ones to get. Run out very quickly. So I did use a second set, but basically the second set was only used for those parts and a couple of other things. Very, very minor use of a second set. Some of the stuff I already had, like I restructured the towers at the front, and I used these arches, which I had a few of, and I put a bell in there in each of the towers. So there's some parts I had, but majority of the parts I got from Big Ben. So of course the flowers and the fencing and the trees around it from my part set. Yep. So the other side of the Big Ben, as you can see, I've in the next to the cathedral you're going to have a graveyard. As you can see, it follows pretty much the same structure as the Big Ben. You can see the modification on this tower here, where I used very simply the Big Ben idea there, but because you're going up, I changed the style there, and a little bit change up top, but essentially it's the same. In the front, as you can see, there's a bit of stained glass windows coming in here, and it also goes through to the back. You can just see a little bit of glass, stained glass at the back there. I'll show you the back in a second. So the back here, you can see the main stained glass window. Now this piece, as part of the main crypt area, is taken straight from the horse float from many years ago, sometime around 2010, 2012. Just a spare bit I had left over and I used it. So what I'll do now is I'll show you what this looks like in the city, so you can see that beyond just the building here, you can see that it actually fits in well within my city that I've created. So this kind of shows you how it fits into the city, into its space, and you can see it fits. And from the other side you can see that it really fits in to the scene of the city, where opposite it is the fire station, which you would expect lots of the firemen to visit the church. Here's the fire stations, and opposite the cathedral. So I hope you enjoyed this. I've got a couple more to do for some of the upgrades that I've done, and just another interesting mock and a little bit of rebricking to make a a set that's really, really good. The Big Ben set's very good, but this makes it even better that you can resize it to a modular building. Thank you.